Voidmage Gamer is now partnered with Flipside Gaming, so you can use the promo code on their website, all caps, Voidmage, to get 10% off all orders $10 or more. It's a great way that you can support both Flipside Gaming and Voidmage Gamer's channel. Hello guys, welcome back to another Commander Deck Tech video. This week we changed it up a little bit. Instead of focusing entirely on Guilds of Ravnica, went back to some older options, mixed in with some more of the new stuff. They still ended up voting on, however, one of the Guilds of Ravnica options, Izoni Thousand-Eyed. I think she's a pretty sweet commander option that not too many people are talking about, probably because Golgari is already stacked in commander, with things like Marin of Clan Neltoth, the Gitrog monster, Slimefoot. You had a ton of Golgari options, including Hipatra, so I think people are starting to get a little sick and tired of Golgari maybe. Hopefully not too much, hopefully you can enjoy Izoni. She is 6 mana, 2 black, 2 green, for a 2/3 legendary elf shaman with an undergrowth trigger. When she enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token for each creature card in your graveyard. That was the whole undergrowth thing. They did something depending on the total number of creature cards in your graveyard, so that's what you want to build around. You want to have a ton of creature cards in your deck first of all, and then you want a way to dump them into your graveyard. She also has an activated ability, so she's multifaceted in that manner. You can sacrifice another creature, you gain 1 life, and draw a card. This is so incredibly underrated, which is why I think she's overall a pretty underrated commander option. This ability alone, you have a decent engine. You get to gain a life. However you feel about that, it's still going to keep you in games, and you get to draw a card, which is a little bit more important, yes. So you're able to give up a creature, which hopefully that contributes towards her next undergrowth trigger. She gives herself tokens to sacrifice too. So yeah, she's just a 2/3 with no other abilities, no keywords, but you have the usual synergies with sacrificing creatures and getting value, which Golgari loves aristocrats, anything having to do with creatures dying and doing stuff. So having a sack outlet on a creature on your commander is even better. Kind of makes me wonder why she was only just a rare. I think she's quite exceptional. A good majority of your deck should be creatures. You're going to want to play at least 30 of them, and you're going to want to play things like Glowspore Shaman, just a creature that's going to enter the battlefield and put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. To the same effect, you're also going to want to be playing things like Deadbridge Chant or anything like this that can just dump a massive amount of cards into your graveyard, contributing towards that undergrowth. Also from Guilds of Ravnica, this is a card that was a mythic, Underrealm Lich, another really good way. In synergy with Izoni, you can draw a card, but instead of drawing a card, you're going to look at top 3, you're going to dump 2 of them and keep 1. Also pretty resilient with his activated ability. Another way, which is probably going to end up being the best way to synergize with undergrowth, is combining it with Dredge. In these colors, you already have things like Stinkweed, Imp, and Golgari Grave Troll. These are just amazing. You can sacrifice these, they're going to be in your graveyard off of Izoni if you don't end up milling them into there anyway, and you just keep coming back, keep sacking them to Izoni, and just keep dredging a ton of cards into your graveyard. So that's basically what you want to do, is just mill yourself. You could even throw in Altar of Dementia if Izoni isn't going to allow you to sacrifice too many creatures. This will allow you to sacrifice something, and you can target yourself with it, so you can fill your graveyard even quicker. Now, since we're going to be dumping a lot of stuff into our graveyard, I think it's good if we can throw some stuff in there that actually has some value in the graveyard. Things like Filth and Brawn actually give your creatures good keywords when they're in the graveyard. It's almost like they belong there and they don't want to be anywhere else. And you of course have the dredge creatures, but you also have a nice little value creature like Gravecrawler that you can constantly cast from your graveyard. Probably going to control some zombies, so having creatures that can constantly come back from the graveyard is pretty useful. And since we do get some tokens off of our commander entering the battlefield, we're going to want to capitalize on that. Playing cards like Parallel Lives, Primal Vigor, any way to double the total number of tokens we get is pretty nice. And if you do want to make that a win con of yours, just winning off of numbers, things like Beastmaster Ascension or Craterhoof Behemoth are pretty nice inclusions as well. Now we do want to get some stuff back from our graveyard. We want to find some way to recover. We do play cards like Animate Dead, Dread Return. We have a ton of tokens, making that pretty valuable. And it probably wouldn't hurt playing something like a Crucible of Worlds or a Ramenop Excavator just to get whatever lands you end up milling into your graveyard, get those back, because being mana screwed in this deck can really hurt. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck. It's nothing too complicated. You could probably say that Gerard Golgari Lich Lord is going to give you more power in Golgari. You have another sacrifice outlet, but I think if you just want to play something a little bit more low-key, isn't going to draw too much hate, but is going to give you some card draw and consistency, going to allow you to play some Golgari control, I think Izoni may end up being even better than Gerard. You could play with token strategies, you could emphasize on overrun effects, something like that, or you could just play good old aristocrats, throw in things like Blood Artist, Falconwrath Noble, Zulaport Cutthroat, and of course you're in the colors for a Poison Tip Archer, so you might as well play that as well. Just a ton of value within Golgari already, so there's no doubt in my mind that if you give Izoni Thousand Eyed a chance, she's probably going to end up being a favorite commander of yours. Getting value, getting more tokens out there is just crazy, and you could probably even combo with Food Chain to a degree. While it may not go infinite, getting a ton of tokens off of Izoni really doesn't seem like a bad thing. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this deck tech video. Let me know what you think about Izoni Thousand Eyed. Kind of seems to be the theme of Guilds of Ravnica so far. We have some pretty decent commander options, but none that really shatter expectations, none that really kind of go outside of the box. They do seem to, for the most part, conform towards the identity of the guilds and what we're used to. Especially when you look at Golgari, it does definitely seem like more of the same. The only one that really went outside of the box, I would say, is maybe Dimir, because instead of just focusing on milling your opponents, you're focusing on your own graveyard for once. Yeah, let me know what you think about the deck. Let me know what you think about everything here. I will link this entire deck list in the description box below. You guys have a wonderful day. Void here signing off. See you all next video.